Podz, Coach Kerr said you are a 2-year player that plays like a 10-year player because of the poise that you show out there, and you showed that poise tonight, obviously having a big game. How big was it for you to have that big game, knowing that you had a few struggling early on?
I think it was big just because we won the game. I seen some stat on ESPN today of the leading scorer in the series was Steph, and then a bunch of Rockets, and then Jimmy, who's only played one game. And so just try to do my best to help him out and end up getting the win, and that's all we really wanted tonight.
Given everything that they threw at you tonight and in the series, how important was it to stay composed as a team throughout the game?
I think it was very important. As the series has gone on, they've tried a bunch of different things with their defense. And so I think having high IQ players on our side, being able to recognize that kind of thing and make adjustments throughout the game, within the game, has been huge. I think our coaching staff's done a good job in-game adjustment-wise. Obviously, the starting lineup with Buddy kind of put Sengun on me, which is fine with me. And so they made an adjustment by playing Adams and going zone most of the night. And that's how you saw me and Buddy get a lot of our threes.
Draymond just said that Jimmy basically couldn't move for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth, he found a way to move. What kind of effort did you see, the gutsy nature and the lift he gave you guys tonight?
That's what he's been doing for a long time. Here in Miami, wherever he's been, is playoff Jimmy. Just to see him, do everything in his power the last couple of days to get back to this point, and just trying to be out there for Game 4, even though we won Game 3 without him, just to see his perseverance and do all the things he was required to do to get back. You can see that he wants to win. He's a winner.
You guys started the third quarter on an 18-1 run. What was the key to that?
Same as the start of the game when we started on that run. Forcing them to kind of play through Sengun and letting Draymond play one-on-one defense with him and keep everybody else out of the game, and run in transition so they couldn't get their defense set. And I think the start of the first and the start of the third were big for us.
And speaking of Draymond on Sengun, what were you thinking when they tried to post up Sengun, let him ISO on that last possession?
Why him? I don't know why you'd go after Defensive Player of the Year.
Brandin, over here. Draymond noted your skill and all the work you do, but he also, in explaining sort of why you thrive in this setting, said you have irrational confidence. Where does that come from? Where does your self-belief sort of trace to be on this stage?
Well, first you got to tell yourself you belong in the moment. And I think good and great players want the moment and thrive in the moment, and don't back down from it. But I think it's just from building evidence. All the things you put into the game, that collects over time. And from that collection, it's like, I've done this so many times. Now, just because it's a different moment, it's still the same thing. And so there's no pressure. And everything I do on there, I'm never going to have a regretful decision. And I'm just going to go out there and know and tell myself I belong, because I do.
And one quick follow-up. How much of your scoring tonight was connected to them kind of bottling up Steph? I mean, Steph had even less room to operate, it seemed, than he has the last few games.
Yeah, I think that's what makes a team. You want to commit 2 players for one and leave your guys kind of in zones to help off. I think that's what a team's about. And I think we did a good job Steph did a good job of getting off the ball. When they're doing that for 48 minutes, there can be hey, I need to get a shot up, or hey, I need to do this. And I think he was just super cognizant, especially in the second half, of just getting off the ball. I think we had 1 turnover as a team in the second half. So we were just taking what the defense gave us. A lot of times, me, Jimmy were on the baseline or on the corners when Sengun and Adams closing out to us. And so getting the ball there and driving a closeout, making a play.
Brandin, as good as the scoring must have felt to you tonight, you've always been the guy that does the intangible things. You took another charge tonight. How good did that block that you got on Van Vliet feel?
I mean, given the situation, obviously it's magnified a little bit because it was a key possession, but just understanding, watching film, understanding he's not the best finisher in the paint, and either he wants to spray it out or shoot threes a lot of the time. And so I wasn't too worried when he got past me. Just kind of rode the drive, and obviously he went for a floater, and I just tried to help Dre out a little bit and get a piece of it.
Hey, Brandon, what's going through your head when Draymond picks up that fifth foul? And what adjustments did you guys have to make to survive without him?
I think for me, as a point guard, it was just like, what can we do defensively to kind of counteract Sengun? Obviously, he got going a little bit when Dre was out. But I think it was just, if we can get a 3 and trade it for a 2 with Sengun and just kind of make him work for it, we'll kind of live with it. And then I think for the most part in the second half, we kept the 3 out of the game, which is kind of how they score if it's not Sengun.
Can you sort of describe that sidestep 3 in front of the bench? I mean, most of your threes seem like you're set, you're square to the basket, but that seemed like you were moving more than normal.
Yeah, low shot clock, got it on the wing. It's a shot I practice all the time. And so, like I said, good players want the moment and they want to take those shots, and it just happened to be my shot.
Nah, tomorrow. Steve gave us off day, so
Yeah.
we'll each all do our individual stuff and then come tomorrow with a plan for game 4.
Did you how'd you feel? How much different did you feel in game 3 as opposed to game 2?
I mean, I felt just from an energy perspective way better. Had food in my system. Felt good to be out there again. Kind of felt similar to game 1, honestly, in terms of my energy levels. So I don't expect anything less for game 4.
What do you feel like you guys were able to find and open up there offensively, starting at the end of the second quarter into that second half?
I mean, we just got space when Steph was getting blitzed. As a point guard on the floor, I just tried to communicate as much of who we want to put into some actions to kind of get the first domino to fall. And I think that paired with our defense, getting some turnovers, get some easy buckets, helped us cut the lead to 3 at halftime.
Brandon, how do you feel you guys played defensively? It seemed like that was a key component to kind of grind it out when maybe the offense wasn't functioning as smoothly for part of the game. How do you sort of reflect on that?
Yeah, I think, like I had mentioned, focus is just on Van Vliet and Green, not letting them play in space, being physical with them just as they are with us. And obviously, game 2, we had a lot of space and freedom. That's why he had 38 points. And then you look at game 1 and 3, was more physical with him, challenged more of his shots, put him in positions that he's not comfortable in. And you obviously see the results because of it.
Man, closing the game with that 4-guard lineup plus Draymond, what was the key to making that group work?
I mean, just being physical, tenacity, helping Draymond on the boards, and then the ability to just switch with whomever, knowing that, they need some threes at the end, that we can switch 1 through 5 and feel comfortable with any matchup. If Sengun gets a 2, it doesn't really hurt us. And so having that 4-guard lineup helps us defensively, but offensively also helps us as well.
Brandon, if Jimmy doesn't play tomorrow night, how much does last night's game sort of give you guys confidence? And Steph made a comment last night about the belief and confidence being a lot different than it was two months ago, obviously because of Jimmy's effect. But if he's not out there, is there more confidence, more faith still, and because of the way you played last night?
I think last night helps given the situation, the magnitude of the game, but we won against the Rockets 2 times without Steph this year. We won once without him and Draymond. So we're confident with any, kind of group we have out there. Obviously, it's the playoffs, so it's different, but anybody that rolls out there, the 5 that's out there, or whoever plays, we got confidence that we can win, execute the game plan because we know Steve and the staff's going to have us ready to go.
Hey Brandon, you got whacked by Sengun on one of those plays towards the end of the game. How's your nose feeling? And is that something like you're kind of conscious of as you're kind of playing through like these physical games?
I mean, contact, the physicalness of it, getting hit, falling down, it's all a part of it. So you prepare your body for it. You know it's going to happen. And quick turnaround with the game tomorrow. But I'll be good for tomorrow.